Why do I want to cry right now? Welcome to the last video of Vlogmas. I am actually gonna miss hanging out with you guys every day. I think because of Vlogmas, I realized that I can actually create a lot more content than I thought I could. I always put so much pressure on myself to make my videos very aesthetic, every last detail really, really good, but sometimes having them be 80% good and posting those is better than no video. I could be posting 2 videos a week at this rate, considering I was posting every day for 22 days in a row. So please encourage me next year to continue posting more on YouTube and continue sharing to your stories, because that actually makes my day when I see you guys share my videos to your story. That gives me so much motivation to keep creating. I'm sweating right now. I know Christmas is still in a few days, but it seemed fitting to end Vlogmas on Sit Down Sunday, you and me just hanging out talking. It just felt right. I'm gonna get into the questions. I asked you guys on Instagram to ask me any questions for the last video of 2024. How many times can I emphasize that this is the end? I need your recommendation for a book having the same vibes of Vampire Diaries series. There's a few different ways we can go here. Firstly, I'm just gonna say Zodiac Academy right out the gate, because there's just a lot of characters and couples and drama. So that kind of energy, there's a lot of bad boy getting the girl kind of vibes. Just gonna say that straight out the gate. Another option that comes to mind is the Flesh and Fire series. There is a type of vampire, kind of, in that series. I just find a lot of the main characters' energy kind of similar to Vampire Diaries. I don't know. Another one that comes to mind is Crowns of Nyaxia series. Serpent and the Wings of Night. It is a vampire series. The main girl's a human and she enters a tournament called the Kajari and she has to compete against vampires. So it kind of has a little bit of Hunger Games vibes in there, but it does have vampire-human relations. Is there anything you wish you'd done differently in your 20s? I'm 27 next year, time is flying. This is a great question. I know I did a goals video already, but this specifically, talking about your 20s, because I am turning 30 in 2025, so my 20s will be over. Yeah, I actually don't like thinking about that. Something I wish I did differently in my 20s is got to know myself more. I think I people pleased a lot. I think I got very stagnant in routines and I kind of grew very distant from myself or who I am at my core. I just got kind of disconnected from myself. Looking back, I wish I took more time on my own. Really reflecting and looking back at my 20s, I do wish I took a lot more time to be by myself. Be happy by myself, not be looking for validation from a partner, because I was in a relationship since I was 17, 18, and I've just been in back-to-back relationships with no time in between. I don't know if it was a fear of being by myself. I think I'm a relationship girl, I guess, but looking back, I do really wish I spent that time alone. So if you are alone in your 20s right now, embrace it, because this is the time where you're truly getting to know yourself. And I think I kind of stunted my own growth because I was focusing so much on fostering relationships versus fostering the relationship to myself. I can still do that. There's still time. It's not like I'm out of time, but I do wish I had more of those experiences and just learning experiences throughout my 20s where I really got to know who I am as a person by myself without being attached to another human. Okay, this guy asks this question on every single question box. I'm just gonna answer him, okay? Every time he says, would you date a guy with a foot fetish? And I get this question just constantly. So you know what, buddy? I'm gonna answer it right now for you because it's Christmas. Yeah, I would. I don't really care. I don't really care about feet. I don't dislike them. I don't like them. I just don't care. I actually think I have very cute feet and I have tattoos all over my feet. So honestly, I could be making bank selling foot pics. Please direct me to a website in which I can do that. Who is your favorite book FMC? I love you. I love you too. FMC means female main character. I do remember liking Serafina from Flesh and Fire, but I read that so long ago and it was one of my first romanticies. I can't fully commit to that answer because it's so distant in my brain. Bryce Quinlan in book 1, House of Earth and Blood. I liked her in that one. I cannot recall. I think she probably started annoying me in book 2 and 3, but Bryce was my favorite in book 1 of Crescent City. Give us some tea on what's coming with Night in 2025. Ooh, okay. We're doing less. 2024 was the year of ordering way too many swimsuits in way too many styles in way too many colors. And we're kind of stripping it back next year, but the stuff we have coming, you guys. Some of my favorite bikinis literally ever. We're doing a lot of really, really cool prints. And I think that's probably all I can tell you right now. Just know it's gonna be the summer of prints. Would you ever write a book? I would love to write a book. When I was younger, I wrote short stories constantly. I probably can find some of them. You know, a series of unfortunate events? It's right there on my bookshelf at the very bottom. I used to write book 4.5, book 3.5, and I would write my own series of unfortunate event books to go in between the ones in the series. I just feel like I have a lot of random stories in my brain that I would love to tell. I would love to write a fantasy romantasy book at some point. The only issue is I'm not sure I could get the love story across properly. I think I could develop a really cool world. I think I could describe it really well. I just don't know if I could make you fall in love with the characters and make you believe the love story. I think that's where it would lack from me. So maybe I could buddy write with someone. That would be a dream where I can kind of come up with the whole concept, the world, maybe write some chapters here and there, but have someone else come in there and make the love story believable, because I'm just not sure I could sell that. Because it's the last video of the year, and because it's Christmas, and because I adore you guys, I'm gonna talk about my relationship, because I've been putting this off for so long, and not because I want to, and I'm not trying to be that person who's shady and keeping things from you. I don't want to do that. It's because I'm not the only person involved. There are other people involved, and I always want to be very respectful to everyone, especially people that are very close to me. So I haven't talked about it. I'm not going to go into crazy detail. Right now, all I'm going to say is that we are working towards improving. I know it's probably annoying that I don't talk about what's going on, but I don't know what's going on most of the time. And I've been doing a lot of therapy to try to help me figure out all these things going on in my brain. Just know we're both doing really well right now, and you guys don't need to stress about me. Everything's good. One day at a time, learning lots about each other. This is really difficult because I want to tell you guys everything I do. I really just want to tell you straight up everything that's going on and has been going on for the past year. It's been a tough year, but it's just not fully my place to talk about things that are private and personal and don't only involve me. I'm an open book when it comes to stuff that's just about me, but when other people are involved, I don't want to overstep boundaries, is what I'm trying to say. I don't know if that answered anything, but I felt like I had to touch on it a little bit because I'm not ignoring you, and I don't want you to feel like I'm ignoring you or putting it off or trying to be sneaky and not talk about things, but I just genuinely have no proper update. Free books for life, free sweets for life, or free coffee for life. Free books for life. They're $40 in Canada, so I would love free books for life. Fantasy books have caused unrealistic expectations for my love life. How do you deal with it? No, this is literally an issue. This is actually a problem. I told my therapist about it. I was telling her that I feel delusional because I'm reading about fictional men all the time. And are my expectations incorrect now? Are my expectations too high? And they're not. If you think your expectations are too high, they're probably not, to be honest. I mean, we can't expect to go off on quests to save the world and such, but little things that are put into fantasy books honestly have, I think, created a generation of women who have higher expectations. I think this is a positive because we're realizing as we're reading this, we're like, you know what? I do deserve someone to tell me I'm beautiful every day. That's kind of not that hard. Now, you do have to keep in mind that these are men most of the time written by women, so it's women saying what they would want. Like, you want to keep your expectations high, but you do want to keep them realistic. So you have to find the balance. and really communicate your needs. Because for me, for the longest time, I had no idea what my own needs were. I didn't know my own preferences. I didn't know what I actually wanted. I didn't know my likes and dislikes. I just kind of was bopping around through life, not really knowing any of these things about myself. So once you discover your true needs, that's where the expectations can come into play. If you know you need constant reassurance, if you need someone who has a similar love language to you, if you need somebody who is a physical touch person, then you can kind of create your expectations around that. So start it with yourself and figuring out what your needs and your kind of bare minimum things, non-negotiables are, and go from there. A lot of self-reflection. Are you planning to read Onyx Storm? Yes. That's the third book in the Fourth Wing series. I loved book 1, hated book 2, could not wait for it to be over. But the cliffhanger at the end of book 2, oh, she got me. She got me good. So I absolutely will be continuing. I think that comes out next month, doesn't it? In January. Girl, please give me motivation to record my workouts in my home gym town. Please, I beg. What helps me the most with recording in a gym in tiny little London, Ontario, is having a friend with me. I have no issue recording when I'm with Jenny or Greg. No problem. I can talk to my camera. I don't know what it is. I don't know if I just feel more comfortable in numbers or with someone else with me. Yeah, that's definitely it. I am nothing if not codependent. If you have a gym buddy to go with, that helps so much. It just kind of cuts the tension and makes it feel less stressful and awkward. And I find I don't overthink it as much. Also, blast your music and keep telling yourself that we're all on just a floating big rock and we're all gonna die one day. Do you want to look back at your life and be like, wow, I didn't record a single workout in the gym because I was too busy thinking about what all these random people who have no idea who I am, I was too busy thinking about what they were thinking about me. And now here I am at 90 years old. I don't know any of those people. I have no idea what they're doing in their life. And for some reason, they stopped me. Well, I stopped myself because of them. All these random people in the room prevented me from going after what I actually wanted. You don't want to look back and have those regrets. And the more you do something, the easier it becomes. The first few times, you're gonna feel like you want to throw up. Sometimes I still feel like that, but as soon as you do it and it's done, you feel so much better after. And this goes for anything in life. If you're waiting for something to happen, just go after it, because life is so short and nothing matters because we're all just floating on a giant rock, as I said. So go after those things so that you can look back at your life and be proud of yourself for going after the things you wanted to go after. I need to tell myself this more often, so thank you. How hard do you try to maintain your physique? Please be brutally honest, it seems effortless. It's definitely not effortless, but it has become so much of a routine that it almost seems effortless in a way. I don't know if that makes sense, but for someone who's new to the gym, if they just started doing my routine, it would probably feel like a lot, but I'm so used to it and I love it. It's second nature to me at this point. I do work out 6 days a week and I'm very, very consistent. Consistency is a huge thing. I also love healthy food. I eat mostly whole foods, but you guys know I love treats, so I don't restrict myself. I do walk on my desk treadmill every day, which just makes me feel so good. So I don't necessarily think I'm trying super hard or anything. I've just, over the years, created such a good routine and relationship with health and fitness that I really truly enjoy it and I'm not forcing myself to do anything. So find those things that make it seem effortless for you. If you don't like going to the gym and you've been trying and you just really aren't liking it, find something else that can help you stay active. Start going to spin class, start going to bars, start going to Pilates. Find something that makes it easier on yourself to stay active. You don't have to do the things you don't want to do. I mean, sometimes you got to convince yourself to go to the gym. Most days, I don't need to convince myself at all. It's just second nature to go. I want to go. I look forward to going. I'm excited to go to spin class. I'm excited to go to Pilates. I'm excited to go weightlift. I truly look forward to it. So getting into that routine, developing that relationship with health and fitness, finding the types of workouts and foods that you enjoy, that's gonna make it feel more effortless for you. Don't force feed yourself foods you don't like and do workouts you don't like to do, because then yeah, it's gonna seem like a lot of effort, but it doesn't need to be. it can be so fun and enjoyable. How come you always kiss your hand at the end of YouTube videos? I don't know. It just became a habit and now it's a routine and it's just how I end every single video, and I'm not sure when it started or how I came up with that, but it's just a routine now. This is gonna be the last question because it's probably gonna turn into a little bit of a discussion. The question is, how do you navigate binging? I'm currently struggling and have been battling a long time. To be completely honest and straightforward, I definitely still struggle with binge tendencies, overeating tendencies, odd relationship with food. I think that'll probably stick with me forever, maybe. I've learned so much and grown so much, and there's a lot of different reasons why someone would binge eat or emotional eat or overeat. So it's hard for me to say, this is what you need to do, this is what you need to fix, because I don't know your specific position. You could be binging or overeating because you're genuinely not eating enough and your body is starving. You could be binging or overeating because it's a coping mechanism for dealing with stress, which I think that is definitely something for me, because I notice the second I start to feel really, really stressed, my instinct is to kind of numb myself with food and a TV show. And that started in school. So in university, we lived by the grocery store. So as I would walk home from class, I would stop at the grocery store, I would get some Reese peanut butter cups or something, and I would sit and I would watch a show on my laptop and sit in my bed and would just eat a whole bag of Reese's peanut butter cups, like a big bag, a shareable, resealable bag. That would be my way to kind of numb myself from the stress that I was feeling in school. So I think I carried that kind of onto my adult years. Plus, I restricted myself so heavily at the end of high school that I really damaged my relationship with food because I lost a ton of weight really quickly, and then started binging because my body needed food. So there was kind of multiple avenues and multiple reasons that caused me to start down the binge path. And I think now the main thing for me is stress and also habit and routine. And I don't even think I binge anymore. I more overeat or emotional eat. I don't have binge episodes anymore where I eat literally every single thing in my house. I'm sick to my stomach. I black out. I don't know what's going on. I don't do that anymore, but I do definitely overeat and emotionally. So if I've had a very stressful week on a Friday night, I'm gonna have a little garden gummy, which does not help. That makes everything worse, but it almost gives myself permission to eat whatever I want, because I'm like, oh, I just have the munchies. I can eat whatever I want. And then in the morning, I'm like, oh, hello? What happened? I'm busy enough, honestly, during the week that I almost don't have time to overeat. So when the weekend comes, I find I definitely tend to eat a lot more on the weekends, especially at night. I tend to have a lot of snacks, and I definitely eat past the point of full a lot of the times, especially on days where I didn't eat enough during the day. I notice I eat a lot more at night. So it's kind of finding your triggers, finding out the reasoning behind what caused you to start binging or what causes you to have these emotional triggers. I think going to therapy has helped me a lot as well. Getting to know those reasons and finding the cause can help you figure out what you need to work on. Sometimes your nervous system is literally just dysregulated. I'll put a video below of a girl who she posts really good TikToks about binge eating, about overcoming it, and a lot of her stuff is literally doing tapping. There's like a certain tapping pattern you can do that'll help regulate your nervous system. I did a lot of nervous system regulation with my therapist as well. There's simple things you can do, like literally looking forward and then moving your head. You can have contact on your skin and literally pet yourself. I do this all the time. I did this before my therapist even told me. If I was laying in bed and my heart was racing and I couldn't really fall asleep, I would literally just brush my skin, and just that contact would calm me down. So there's a lot of nervous system regulation you can do that can help as well. I know that's not specific tips, but definitely check the girl who I linked below because she has some great information. And if I can think of anyone else that I follow on TikTok, I'll put that below too. But I know she's really good with nervous system regulation and binge eating and overeating, and she's overcome it completely. So definitely check her stuff out. I hope that can help a little bit. Oh my gosh, I don't want this video to end. This is so sad. Last video of 2024. I can't believe it's gonna be 2025. I'm sick. All I want for Christmas is for everyone who watches this video to subscribe to my channel, because I really want to start really putting in a lot more effort on YouTube and really trying to grow it. So please subscribe and tell all your friends and your family and all their friends and etc. to subscribe as well, because I would really appreciate it. That's gonna be it, guys. I hope you have the most Merry Christmas ever, a Happy New Year, and I will see you in January 2025.